Today on the Mid-Year Mitch YouTube channel, I'm going to show you how I backdated a C3 frame into a C2 frame, so be sure to stick around.
We're at the movies, huh?
Yep, we're at the movies. Physically, these frames are very similar from 1963 to 1982, so you can convert the chassis and backdate them to work on older Corvettes. It's easier if you start from 79 and go further backwards. The biggest things you have to change is the back end and the body mounts. There's also a bunch of little brackets and emergency brake things that are different. But the reason why this is attractive is you could buy a whole rolling chassis like this for a few $100s versus buying just a solid frame that probably has some rust issues for a mid-year for a couple $1,000s. So I was able to get this whole rolling chassis for less than $400. Has everything I need, has disc brakes, power steering, has a posi traction rear end, has the bigger half shafts that started in 75, has the bigger front wheel bearings that started in 69, and it's got a removable transmission cross member because this was an automatic car. So it's got a lot of attractive things to it, but to start backdating it to work on a mid-year frame, the body mounts need to be changed. I'm not sure if I need to change this one yet, but specifically the number 2 and number 3 body mount need to change, and I have a brand new mid-year body mount. So I have to first cut this one off. I'll fill this little divot in because these body mounts kind of cantilever over the side of the frame, and they're also significantly taller. So I'm going to swap those out, and then I'm going to work on figuring out where to back half this, and I have a mid-year frame. That way I can get rid of this funky back end, and I can get a correct mid-year rear section, and I could even put bumpers on it in the future if I wanted to. So I have the 66 frame butted up against the 78 frame. Just wanted to show you the difference in cross section between the two frames. So to illustrate that, I have these two templates made. This is the 78, this is the 66 frame. This one's a lot more skinny and tall. This one is shorter and wider. And if you overlay the two, you can really see the difference. That's the only part right here that is sticking out of the frame. So what I want to do is cut a chunk out here and then bend this top piece down to allow this frame to slide over this frame. And if you remember, I left about 1.5 inches of length this way behind this cross member, and I cut this frame right at this cross member. So what I can do is use this metal as my backer between the two to make sure I have a nice strong weld, and I'll plug weld in some, or rosette weld in some of these holes to make sure I get a good solid bonding between the two. So that's going to do it for this video. If you enjoyed, please give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe. I have a lot more videos coming out on this project, and I have another video in the future coming up on how to stiffen this frame up to bring it from factory spec and bring it up to the next level to make it handle like a race car, at least 50-year-old race car. But it should have a lot more, it'll be a lot more responsive, be a lot better car to drive. And this car is going to have about 500 horsepower, so it's going to need a stiffer chassis to support the power. So I'll catch you guys later. I got a lot of work to do.